All right, I thought I'd be honest today, educate some of you motherfuckers because I hear some crazy shit that people say. Number one, if you want to be an artist in the industry, there's certain foundations you have to build first. I'm still working on this shit myself, but I see a lot of people who just want to come in for a quick buck and dip out. That's not what this shit is for. I've been doing this for 3 years now. I'm still building my foundation. When independence comes into the market 5 to 10 years from now, I'm gonna pop off. But guess what? I'm gonna start foundations. I'm gonna help clean up Hastings Street. I'm gonna do some crazy fucking shit. I'm gonna have my own label, my own artist. Not only am I gonna pop off, but I'm gonna take my whole city with me to pop off. That's where your fucking mentality needs to be. So, yeah, I'm talking that shit. I'm gonna change this game. I'm gonna put more music out. I'm gonna put more stories. I'm gonna relate to more people. That's just what I think it is. I don't think there's any other way to succeed otherwise. I think you need to put more out consistently, and fuck, you guys don't need to be taking those 50K checks, okay, that these labels are giving out. I understand to a lot of people, when you have a criminal record, you're no longer able to get jobs. A lot of people who come from certain lifestyles don't know what a salary is. They don't know that when you have kids and your kid needs a co-signer for a student loan, eventually you have a criminal record. You can't do that. You sold a little bit. You distributed so you can help refurbish your finances and make sure your family's okay. I absolutely get that. Number one thing I try to say, keep out of that lifestyle, okay? Because there's only two ways through that: tombstone or prison. That's it. Once you're involved and who you're affiliated with, you always got to be careful too, because once you get involved, it's game over. If your associates get themselves into a jam up, that can cost you your life. And that doesn't just affect you, that affects everyone else around you as well. So you cannot be selfish. You know, for me, my first album, my last song is called Suicide, because I was in such a dark space at the time when I was making this. It took me 3 years now to get out of that mind state, because as you get older, you start to think about wanting to have kids. You know, I'm gonna be in a position soon where I'm gonna pay my family's bills off. I'm gonna make sure that my kids are set, and my kids' are gonna have the right education, and we're gonna build that generational wealth. That's where your fucking head needs to be to make it. I'm making this video now because in 5 years when I pop off, we're gonna rewatch this shit, and I already told you that I'm right. It's just people don't believe you until you have something backing you up. But I've been saying these ideas since I was 16 years old. Nothing's changed. It's gonna be close to 10 years now after, and 10 years after that, this shit's gonna be put to life. You know? I always have this really good quote that I thought up. I probably said this in another video, but fuck it. This is my favorite quote I made. And it is, you know, in On God I'm About to Pop, I said, throw in pennies, nickels, dimes, whatever pays for wishes. When you go to a wishing well and you're throwing all your fucking dimes and nickels for wishes, you feel like you're losing everything because you're just throwing money away. Like, what's the point of doing it? Well, one day there's not going to be any more water in that pond. It's going to be just straight cash. So though you feel like you're throwing shit away and not getting anything in return, in the long run, you're reinvesting that wealth into yourself. And that's the whole point of this shit. That's the whole point of this shit. Because by the time you get it, you would have gone through so fucking much that it doesn't matter if you get it when you don't go through shit, because you need to have a story. You need to have a story. What's your story? Why does it matter to me that you worked hard and got the money that you made, or put yourself in the position that you're in now? Other people can get that too, just from having rich parents, right? No, it's a fucking story. So for me, I'm cool waiting. I don't mind struggling. It's the first quarter. I just reached my first quarter, and I'm okay with making sure that this next little bit is focused on building wealth and happiness for my family. I'm done that selfish shit. I'm sick and tired of fucking writing all these sad ass songs, because that's just the only shit that comes out that I can think of when I'm writing. I'm gonna try to change that. I'm not gonna ever change it, because I just like writing about sad stuff. Regardless if I'm happy, that's my comfort zone, is being in that gray cloud state. It's just being content. I call it being content. That's what you are. You're not happy, but you're never surprised when bad things happen. But you can be grateful for things too. And I think that's super important. And I think us seeing this, for myself and you two watching this 5 years from now, this is going to be a moment, because we're going to look back and say, fuck, he stuck to what he did. And now we're watching this and we're being educated by this. And I'm telling you, when I am not in the position to fucking be saying anything right now, nothing has really popped off. So I'm just like anybody else, But I think very soon enough, that things are going to change. I think independence is going to be really big. I would like to start hosting my own events and meeting every single one of my audience people. And I really want to start really helping foundations where I feel there needs to be help, like addicts and people going through serious suicidal thoughts. It's because no one asks how you're doing. No one fucking asks. That's what's gonna change this shit, man. If someone cares, and if I don't care if it's volunteer or if it's just, you're getting a salary or whatever for it. If you're there to help someone who's an addict and you're there to listen and you just want to invest your time into changing that person's life, that's where it starts. You're never going to stop distribution. You're never going to stop addicts. But you can intercept that difference that makes it between life and death. And it's that simple. And I'm keeping it that vague because that's all it is. A conversation can save someone from taking their life. And that is what I want to help try to change. I think I started this rant off saying I'm going to figure out how to give you guys some pieces of education. But really, I remember what it was now. So when I start I don't know if I mentioned this in a video, but I spend about 10 to 15 grand a year out of my pocket on music. 3 years I've spent 10 to 15 grand. So let's say, between a safe number, 40 to 50, a salary. An average manager's salary I've spent on music. And I guess this goes back to throwing your coins into the pond, because what are you getting back from that? How much are you willing to go? $45,000 into something that's not paying you back financially, but paying you back in value. Because for me, what is the value of someone listening to my music and me changing their life or helping them get through a tough time? What's the value on that? Right? $45,000 so I can change 5,000 people's lives? Who's to say I'm not already investing in this long-term foundation I want to build through this music? Right? Now it makes sense. So all of this is going to make sense. And when we watch this back in 5 years, it's going to be crazy. And thank you guys, because I want to meet every single person that listens or watches my stuff, because y'all have a story too. And if I can just help you discover what your story is, that's all the riches I need in this life. So that's going to be it for today, guys. But I'm going to start doing more of these in the future.